Hey there folks, and welcome back to Footy Today, where we bring you the latest and greatest news in the world of football. The following stories are not going to be great if you're a Chelsea supporter. However, regardless with who you support, we want to read your comments on what you think about Chelsea and the potential problems that may be coming their way. Do you think they are harsh or fully deserved? Leave your comments below. Now time for the news. Chelsea have been warned they could be hit with a mammoth 15-point penalty this season in a move that could plunge the Blues into an unexpected fight for Premier League survival. It's been a difficult season for Todd Boehly's expensively assembled squad, who on Tuesday evening were thumped 5-0 away to Arsenal and earlier this season missed the chance to claim a first trophy of his era when they let an inexperienced Liverpool side off the hook in the Carabao Cup final. While fortunes since that defeat have improved with Gary Neville's blue billion-pound bottle jobs seemingly acting as a spur, Mauricio Pochettino's side were brought crashing back down to earth after their chastening thrashing at the Emirates Stadium. That loss means Chelsea remain ninth in the Premier League behind West Ham, Manchester United and Newcastle and will miss out on a European spot. However, their season could be about to take a dramatic new turn for the worse, amid reports their efforts to avoid a PSR loophole has been exposed by the Premier League and a massive 15-point deduction this season could be forthcoming. Such a deduction would leave Chelsea, currently on 47 points on just 32 and just 7 points clear of the relegation zone as a result. And while many would expect the Blues to have enough of a buffer in their remaining games left to survive, the prospect of Chelsea finishing in the lower reaches of the Premier League table is not a prospect either Pochettino or Boehly envisaged for this season. As per allegations, Chelsea have tried to avoid a potential profit and sustainability rules after selling 2 hotels to a sister company for a total of £76.5 million. Had they not made that sale, the Blues would have been at risk of breaking the regulations and facing a penalty similar to the ones faced by both Everton and Nottingham Forest this season. But as Football Insider reports, the sale of the hotels is being probed by the Premier League amid an investigation into whether the properties were offloaded for fair market value. And given the sales were also made to a sister company, football finance expert Kieran Maguire reckons both Everton and Nottingham Forest have a right to feel aggrieved. However, Maguire suggests the Blues could well still suffer a hefty punishment and has explained why a mammoth penalty could be on the cards. "I think both Everton and Nottingham Forest are absolutely right to be furious at Chelsea," Maguire said. Forest were £34.5 million over the limit and Everton were £16.5 million over in 2022-23. It would appear that Chelsea are in the region of £70 million over the limit. Given that it's supposed to be 1 point for every £6.5 million over the limit and 3 points for breaching the rules, they should be looking at a 15-point deduction. If I was a fan or anybody connected with Everton or Forest, I'd be throwing my hands up in the air. To make matters worse, Mauricio Pochettino has told Chelsea's hierarchy they must make ruthless decisions in the summer. The Blues' season hit a new low on Tuesday night as they were thrashed 5-0 at the Emirates Stadium and suffered their heaviest ever defeat to Arsenal. The result increases the scrutiny on Pochettino, who will hold talks with Chelsea officials at the end of the season amid uncertainty over his future. Pochettino admitted Chelsea players gave up against Arsenal, calling his team so soft, but refused to lay it all at their door, saying the circumstances are bigger than the players. He warned inconsistency is inevitable with such a young team and said the club needs to come up with a smarter strategy in order to avoid more painful nights like this one. Chelsea have spent £1 billion in the transfer market since being taken over by Todd Boehly and Clearlake Capital in 2022, but the Blues have endured a miserable few seasons and are languishing in 9th in the Premier League. Pochettino has painted a bleak picture of the situation at Chelsea and said the club needs to be clinical when sitting down to make decisions at the end of the season. Pochettino said, "We took the risk when we arrived here. And now need to accept, and we need try to be positive to help. Because if we want to be better, we need to realize, be clever in the way we assess the things that we are doing, the plan. The strategy for the future should be better, and in our analysis try to be very clinical in our decisions for the future to help not to be in this situation in the future. I'm not going to blame the players. The circumstances are bigger than the performances of the players. We cannot blame young guys. After suffering some circumstances, you need to come here and fight against a team who is preparing to win the Premier League. That is why we need to be careful. We cannot be unfair with our players. Of course we are disappointed with the performance, but I am not going to use words that are unfair. Pochettino will have 1 year left on his contract in the summer, and financial constraints could prove problematic to major squad surgery. Chelsea's latest accounts showed the club are sailing close to the wind with Premier League profit and sustainability rules, though they insist they will stay compliant. And lastly, no video is ever complete without mentioning some doom and gloom news with Manchester United. And in today's video, we have seen reports from ESPN journalist Mark Ogden that Manchester United manager Erik Then Hag will face a 25% pay cut if his side miss out on qualification for next season's Champions League at Old Trafford. The Red Devils look unlikely to secure their place in Europe's Premier Club competition in the remaining weeks of the 2023-24 season. Qualification for European football's Premier Club competition is deemed near impossible, with the three-time European Cup winners sitting 16 points and 3 places behind Aston Villa, who occupy the Premier League's final Champions League spot as per the date and time of this article. Ten Hag is set to enter the final year of his 3-year contract at Man United, but faces intense scrutiny over his future at Old Trafford. Speaking about Ten Hag's wages, Ogden said, "Sources have told ESPN that the 54-year-old, like the vast majority of his senior players, is on an incentivized contract at Old Trafford related to the team's performances, and that failure to secure Champions League qualification would trigger a 25% cut in salary for the season in which the team does not participate in UEFA's top competition." Man United are exploring alternative options to Ten Hag according to many reports. Gareth Southgate, Roberto De Zerbi, Thomas Frank, and Gary O'Neill have all been named. Given the intense speculation over Ten Hag's future at Manchester United, it comes as no surprise that the Red Devils have been linked with alternative options in the Old Trafford dugout. The same report claims that the 20-time English champions are considering 4 options for the potentially vacant post at the Theatre of Dreams. The Dutchman will hope he can salvage his future with a positive end to the season, which may include an FA Cup final triumph over neighbours Manchester City next month. That's it for now. Before you go, it would be much appreciated if you could hit the like and subscribe buttons, as it does really help this channel grow. Don't forget to click on the bell notification icon to never miss a story. Thanks for watching.